women out there that feel like they're nobody unless they have a partner. And I wish I could teach these kids that if there's somebody that's not good and they're not treating you right, it's not going to make you half of a person if you say, no, I don't want this in my life. You don't need to date the football quarterback if he's not nice. You don't need to date the most popular guy in school if they're not nice. And vice versa. You know, if a woman's going to be treating you, I just had a story. I just had a very good friend of mine. He told me, he says, Denise, he goes, I was at a bar, I was sitting there minding my own business, having my drink after work. All of a sudden, this girl comes and grabs my drink. And he goes, excuse me, he goes, that's not yours. And she goes, what? Starts poking at him, poking at his chest, poking at him. He goes, what? What are you going to do about it? I want your drink. It's like, oh my God, you got to be kidding. I said, what did you do? And he says, I called the police after she wouldn't stop and wouldn't stop and wouldn't stop. And I know this guy, and he is just like as harmless as, you know, a fly. And I sit there and I just go, wow. You know what the policeman told him? He said, what, are you afraid of a woman? And then he says, well, what if I would have been doing it to her? He goes, oh, then I would have had to arrest you. And it's not their fault.
No one deserves it.
Nobody deserves it, no. If you're a child that's living in domestic violence in a family, you're a child that only knows and grows up in that domestic violence household. So, you know, you think if you're a little girl, you think that that's the norm when you grow up. If you're a little boy, you think that's the norm when you grow up. So why not get it into the school systems when they start school? Get, you know, at Micah's place, they have a curriculum. It's called Hands Are Not for Hitting. And I learned about that curriculum back in 1996. Actually 1995 when they first started it through the Minnesota Coalition for Battered Women. And I've been talking about this curriculum ever since I started speaking because I think it's so important. What I would tell people is if they hit you once, they'll hit you again. And if they ever threaten to kill you, eventually one day they will. So get out.